Hello everyone, in this series we are going to learn about the essay of Francis Bacon of Studies. Bacon is the first of English essayists. He remained for the sheer mass and weight of genius, the greatest. Francis Bacon is rightly regarded as father of English essays. He also enjoys the title of father of modern English prose. The famous English poet Alexander Pope called him the brightest, wisest, and meanest of mankind. So let us start from his essay. Bacon begins with his essay by telling the chief use of a study in one's life. Purpose of a study is not only to get a job or a classy lifestyle, but a study gives us pleasure, especially when the person is free or forsaken. It serves as ointment for loneliness and increase the person's ability. As it is seen that forsakenness is increasing day by day and medical science has no cure for it. But here Francis Bacon has found a book as perfect medicine to cure loneliness. He says books are the friend of a person who is suffering from loneliness. The chief use of delight or happiness is when the person is retired or alone, because a hard-working person feels so solo when he gets retired. He had left with no work. So Bacon suggests him to study to overcome his loneliness. If he will not do so, he'll go into the depression for sure. But the studies will give him the hope to do many things and will keep the person busy and away from negative thoughts. He says a study serves as ornament, means a study adds glamour to the personality of a person, as ornament adds glamour to the personality of a person and his beauty. In the same way, the studies will enhance the person's talent, class, and standard and make him perfect in his field. If a person talks with illiterate man, he will notice that the man's thoughts are not as good and optimist as compared to well-educated man. So study charms the personality. The study makes the person judgmental. It helps the person to differentiate between good and bad or right and wrong. It makes the person to learn to fight for his rights, because many people who are illiterate are cheated and fooled by others. But if they had confidence and power of a study, nobody could cheat them, and they will judge between right and wrong before jumping to the decisions. A study helps a person in taking their business on height. For expert men, it's very easy to handle his business because he has experience how to do that very job. A common man can't do it, but martially come from those who are learned and experienced. People get these learnings from the books. It is observed that the people who go for an interview, priority is given to those who are experienced, because experience brings confidence along with it. Bacon further says, to spend too much time on a study is a sign of laziness. As it is seen, and it is well said, excess of everything is harmful. Just remember the time when you saw a man engaged with Facebook or WhatsApp. At that time, he don't care for rest of the things. He forgot to eat or to do an important call. Same happens when we do studies. Lots of studies bring the addiction along, which is really bad. To use study too much for ornament brings artificiality. Just like if a woman applies makeup, she looks good. But if she applies extra alcohol or mascara, she looks comic for sure. Do not judge everyone by your study, as it will make you a funny scholar. Neither should believe everything you studied. Now you'll ask why. Just think that if scientists would have believed Mendeleev's periodic table is correct and would have given their judgments on that only, the new periodic table had never been found. If you want perfection, Then learn to observe, because only studies can't give you perfection. Observation is must. Study develops man's natural ability, but it must be guided and perfected by the practical experiences of life. Natural abilities can be compared to natural plant. Just as natural plants are trimmed and given proper shape by gardeners, in the same way, natural abilities of a person are important and improved and developed by studies and contemplation. Studies gives guidance, which is two-edged and journal. Guidance given by book can be applied to practical affairs of life only when it has corrected and controlled by the experiences of life. For example, a man studied how to drive a car or methods of driving car from a book, but he can't drive smoothly on roads because he is inexperienced, and car driving need experience. So only studies can't do enough. Experience is needed too. Cunning people hate studies, while simple ones love them, and wise men use them. Let me explain you this thing with the help of example. Suppose there is an ocean. The cunning person will criticize it. He will hate it because of mud and etc. things. Simple men will love it, caring for nothing else. But wise men will try to find pearls in it, as he knows the value of ocean and he knows how to use his knowledge. Books can teach us everything, but observation and experience is necessary. One should not read books to oppose others or prove them wrong, or nor should read it to believe and follow it like robot. Neither one should study to use them in their talks, just to do show off to others of our intelligence. But one should study them to wait and to contemplate, so we can differentiate between right and wrong and could find the proper way of doing the particular job. Bacon further says, each book should not be read in the same way. One should read them according to their importance. As Bacon says, some books are to be tested, means the whole book should not be read, only some parts will do enough. Other to be swallowed, means they should be read normally, they are not much importance. And some books to be chewed and digested, means some books should be read slowly and thoroughly, because they have very deep meaning, which need full attention. Otherwise, it will become very hard for us to understand those things. Let me explain you this thing with the help of example. Suppose John is at home and playing a silly video game. He will not give his full attention to it, because firstly, the game is silly, and secondly, it won't harm if he lose or won the game. In second situation, suppose he is playing match with his friends. He will play it with little attention, because somewhere he hopes to win. But if he commit any kind of mistake, or in case he lose the game, it won't harm him again. But in third case, if he is playing it internationally, then he will play it with all his attention and will apply all his strategies, all the methods to win the game, because now it's very important for him to win the game at any cost. A single mistake will harm him a lot. Same happens with book. A single mistake in reading important books can harm us a lot. Bacon further adds that some books should be read by your assistant and to be summarized by others, but this should be done to less important books only, just like ordinary books which has no taste, because some of these books are like distilled water. They have no taste, they are not at all interesting. Just like some people who hate cooking hire a cook for them, in the same way for these some uninteresting book, one should hire assistant. Now Bacon tells what the reading can brings to the person. He says, reading make the full man. It means reading a books make a man learned and develop his whole personality. It keeps the man up to date. Conference make a ready man. It means conference make a man quick-witted so that he can make a suitable reply any moment. He can speak his mind anytime, and writing makes an exact man. Similarly, he became exact by writing down his ideas. Bacon further says, a man need not to write if he has power of memorization. He need not to do practice of public speaking if he is witty, and he need not to read much if he can make impression on others that he have read the book without even reading it. This statement is found little comic. History makes a man wise. History increases one's knowledge about everything, social, political, and educational. Everything which is past becomes history. History somewhere makes us aware of some mistakes which were attempted in past, and one should prohibit them in future, just like nuclear attack in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and some good things like power of beauty and love, which can be seen through Taj Mahal in India. Poetry makes a person imaginary. It enhances a person's thinking and emotion. Mathematics makes a person logical. It helps a person to deal with problems and encourage him to stay strong. Natural philosophy makes a person deep thinker. He thinks everything before doing. He contemplates on good and bad outcomes of particular job which he is going to perform. It meant will study moral lessons. It will make him serious and critical, as moral lessons speak about the result of one's good and bad deeds. A study of logic will give him art of oratory. Avant studia in Morse means a study of enhanced system. Different choices of book can make the person wit. In the same way, different exercises cure the diseases. Just as bowling is good for stones and reins, shooting for lungs and breast, gentle walking for stomach, and riding for head. In the same way, if man is unable to concentrate, let him study mathematics. It will help him to concentrate. And once he loses his concentration, he had to start it all again. If he can't distinguish, let him study schoolman, because they are the hair splitters. They go into depth and find out the reason of everything. And if he is unable to beat over metals and prove something over others, he should study lawyer's case, so that every depth of his mind may be cured by a special remedy. And with this, Bacon ends his essay.